A homeowner in Baltimore just got hit with a $7,000 electricity bill. No warning, just a massive financial hit. Why? His brand new, state-of-the-art heat pump had actually been trying to heat and cool his house simultaneously for 5 straight months. In this explainer, we're breaking down the 10 specific retrofit mistakes that are secretly destroying your ROI right now and exactly how you can avoid stepping into this exact financial trap.
You might be wondering, how does a bill even get that massive without the homeowner noticing? Well, his utility company had him on a budget billing plan. It kept his monthly payments perfectly flat at around $300, which completely masked the disastrous error happening at the meter. When the utility finally reconciled his actual usage in the spring, boom, they handed him a single invoice for $7,000. And the installer? Yeah, they were already out of business.
The culprit behind this nightmare was shockingly simple: a miswired reversing valve. For 5 months, the heating and cooling systems literally fought each other around the clock. Now here's the thing. This isn't just bad luck. It's a highly predictable consequence of a specific, preventable installation mistake that we're going to cover in just a minute. And the stakes here are incredibly high. Across Europe right now, full house energy retrofits routinely run anywhere from 15,000 to 50,000 euros. With rising energy costs and mounting mortgage pressure, you literally can't afford to get this wrong. But here's what the glossy marketing brochures won't tell you: the risk of totally wasting your investment is staggering. Most people just don't realize that the order in which you make your upgrades matters just as much as the expensive products you're buying. Just one contractor shortcut can wipe out 5 years of savings.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Mistake number 1 is doing things in the completely wrong order. If you try to fix the visible stuff before the fundamental building shell, you destroy your system's performance. Installing a state-of-the-art heat pump in a leaky, uninsulated house is the engineering equivalent of dropping a high-efficiency racing engine into a car with no doors or roof. Sure, the machine technically turns on, but the system as a whole entirely fails. Just look at the math. For a typical home in a colder climate, following the proper sequence of air sealing and insulation fundamentally lowers your peak heating load. We're talking about dropping the requirement from a massive 20 kilowatts down to just 7 kilowatts, and that's for the exact same house. Because your load calculation fundamentally changes, you directly save massive amounts of money on the equipment size and the installation cost, long before you even flip the switch to turn the system on. Which brings us to mistake number 2, adding insulation without air sealing. Now, insulation salespeople rarely mention this, but insulation only slows conductive heat. It does absolutely nothing to stop moving air. If warm air leaks out through unseen cracks in your sill plates or attic hatches, it creates what's called a convection bypass. That moving air just carries your expensive, paid-for heat right past the fiberglass, rendering the insulation's R value completely irrelevant.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Building science proves that air leakage increases real-world heat loss by 40 to 160% above what that R value label predicts. This isn't just some minor rounding error. It's practically a doubling of your heat transfer. Tightening your building shell first delivers massively more savings per euro than simply piling on thicker layers of insulation over a leaky ceiling.
Right, here is what most homeowners completely miss. Is your smart thermostat secretly doubling your electricity bill right now? Let's step away from the building shell for a second and uncover the hidden financial traps lurking inside your actual heating setup.
This is mistake number 3, skipping the commissioning phase. This is exactly what happened to the homeowner in Baltimore. When a system isn't set up and tested correctly under load, it secretly shifts the heating demand away from the highly efficient compressor, which has a coefficient of performance, or COP, of about 2.5 to 4, over to the backup electrical resistance strip. That backup strip? It has a COP of exactly 1.0. So every single kilowatt hour shifted to that backup strip secretly doubles or even triples your bill without you knowing.
And this brilliantly illustrates mistake number 4, the thermostat trap. Look, if you just switch from a gas boiler, you absolutely cannot use your thermostat the same way. Gas boilers blast high-temperature air to recover quickly from a deep overnight temperature drop. But if you program a deep 3-degree overnight setback on a heat pump, the smart thermostat panics. It interprets that large jump as an emergency and immediately triggers those incredibly expensive resistance heat strips to close the gap fast. You really must use slow 1 to 2 degree adjustments.
Now let's look at mistake number 5, oversizing the heat pump. Field studies show a massive share of units in Europe right now are oversized, and this leads to a dangerous phenomenon called short cycling. Essentially, an oversized heat pump satisfies the thermostat's demand way too quickly, violently shutting itself off before it can even complete a full, efficient cycle. Contractors often do this on purpose because it eliminates the risk of you calling them up and complaining about the cold. But guess what? You carry the cost for that shortcut.
The consequences of an oversized unit are severe. It causes poor dehumidification, leaving your home feeling cold and damp. It triggers unnecessarily high energy consumption. And that constant starting and stopping, it leads straight to premature compressor failure. Demanding a detailed, room-by-room heat loss calculation from your installer is your absolute only protection against paying thousands for an oversized gas.
Moving on to mistake number 6, making a home airtight without adding mechanical ventilation. This mistake physically damages your house. You see, when you tighten a home, you eliminate all those natural drafts it relied on to stay dry. In one Illinois case study, applying closed self-foam insulation without addressing the ventilation caused humidity to spike so badly it resulted in bubbling paint and literal black mold behind the bedroom drywall in just a single year.
You absolutely have to replace that lost natural draft with designed air exchange. Modern, balanced mechanical ventilation, like a heat recovery or energy recovery ventilator, can recover up to 85% of your outgoing heat. It constantly brings in fresh air while keeping your indoor humidity safely regulated, which protects both your family's health and the building's structural integrity.
Okay, this brings us to mistake number 7, upgrading your windows at the wrong time. Now, windows offer incredibly high emotional satisfaction. They look beautiful, they feel secure, they're great. But the actual financial ROI of a triple pane upgrade done out of sequence is completely debunked. In moderate European climates, spending 15,000 euros to go from double to triple glazing before you even air seal your attic means the incremental payback stretches out something like 20 to 30 years.
Mistake number 8 is using the wrong vapor control for your climate. In older European masonry homes, slapping up an interior plastic vapor barrier is literally a recipe for structural rot. These solid brick and stone homes were historically designed to manage moisture by breathing. If you trap summer moisture behind an impermeable poly layer, it's going to condense right inside the walls. For these specific homes, you absolutely need breathable vapor variable membranes instead.
Mistake number 9 is installing solar panels too early. Solar panels are fantastic for generating electricity, but they do absolutely nothing to fix the building that is leaking that electricity. It's like paying extra to pour power into a leaking bucket. A fabric-first strategy, where you upgrade the shelf first, cuts your overall conditioning demand by 30 to 50%. This directly shrinks the size of the solar array you need to buy, vastly lowers your upfront capital cost, and drastically accelerates your overall payback time.
And this brings us to mistake number 10, the massive trap that really makes all the others possible, relying on the wrong payback calculation. The insulation company quotes the insulation savings. The heat pump dealer quotes the heat pump savings. Listen, these isolated single-product numbers are purely marketing fiction. Real payback must be calculated using a whole system, 10-year running cost model that accounts for how these specific upgrades actually interact with each other in the real world.
So what is the right way to do all this? Well, here is the definitive 5-step correct sequence to ensure optimal performance and avoid expensive rework. Step 1. Air seal the shell. Step 2. Insulate over that newly sealed surface. Step 3. Add mechanical ventilation to properly manage the moisture. Step 4. Right-size your heating system based on that newly reduced load. And finally, Step 5. Add your renewables, like solar, last.
The bottom line here is incredibly simple. Every single mistake on this list is a deviation from that exact sequence, and every deviation costs you money. Ignoring basic building physics doesn't just mean your house might be a little bit drafty, it carries immediate, severe, and compounding financial penalties over the entire lifespan of your equipment.
Now, to secure your retrofit and ensure you don't make these costly errors, there are some really practical next steps you can take today. You can request a one-on-one home energy audit by sending an email or a DM, where we'll actually look at your building's specific sequence. You can also access our full real-world case studies, including actual before and after utility bills, by joining the Smart Home Energy School community.
I'm going to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial thought. Before spending 20,000 euros on the wrong upgrade in the wrong sequence, make sure you thoroughly understand how the pieces of your home actually fit together. Does your home pass the 50 degrees Celsius boiler test? This is the ultimate free diagnostic you must run yourself before you invite a single installer into your home. We'll be breaking down exactly how to run that test in our next explainer.